Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Hildebrand. In the last episode, we were able to track Gigi down in the Kurthus Western Highlands, and also met, Godbert was there, and his wife, Julian. And they ended up giving Gigi a real boy's body. But his powers ended up reverting him back to his original state. We have kind of resolved those issues, and that ended that chapter. And then we started a new case where some people posing as the Knights of the Heavens Ward were taking advantage of young, wealthy women and taking their money. And so we tracked them down, and it turned out to be a bunch of kind of older knights who were trying to restore their original youthful bodies, and for that they wanted Gigi. Or Vivi, because Gigi recalled its memories of its creation and original purpose, which was to do that very thing. So he, or it, has gone off to actually willingly help those individuals. So, kind of where we're at. I need to see what is going to be next. So, let's talk to Seer and get started. Seer is a man at the end of his tether. Proud and the pointy-eyed. Alright, we need to speak, Ayame. I've been scouring the archives for any information regarding temporal magic since last we spoke. The results have been rather troubling, to say the least. As you may or may not be aware, ancient Allag is portrayed in the Enchiridion as a cautionary tale, a great empire brought low by its vanity and hubris. However, there are certain apocryphal texts in which the Allegans are cast in a more sympathetic light, if not outright exalted. It was in these texts that I found references to temporal magics once wielded by Allegan mages. Said magics could be used to halt or even reverse the temporal state of a given object. If these accounts are to be believed, and if Gigi's abilities and those magics are one and the same, then it may well be possible for him to turn back the hands of time for the Grand Sirs, much as he restored the Duke's priceless vase. That being said, there is no telling how this will work with regards to a living being. Consider, if you will, the vase was filled with water when shattered. Even if the vessel were restored, what would become of its former contents? Would it be filled with water as before, the very same, every drop returned, or would it be different water? Or would the water, once spilt, be forever lost? I speak of the soul, my friend, for even if one could use these magics to restore the dead to life, would they be as they were before, with all the same thoughts, memories, and feelings? The Grand Sirs are convinced that they can regain their lost youth, and mayhap they can, but the dead who have entered into Holone's halls cannot return. They cannot. Yet Gigi is nevertheless resolved to try and resurrect Archmagus Quan. Speaking of which, according to some Charlian texts in the archives, Archmagus Quan was an accomplished scholar known for his studies of ancient Allegan magics. Further evidence that Gigi's abilities are likely derived from ancient traditions, I suppose. But more importantly, I learned the location of the Archmagus' former residence. Mayhap we could find something of interest there, something which could help us to persuade Gigi to change his course. Had a mind to summon Inspector Hildebrand and make the journey there together. Would you be willing to join us? Very well. Excellent. Then let us be about our business. I saw you, heretic. Who's this? I beg your pardon? Are you accusing me of being a heretic? Yes, you, Inquisitor Seer. I saw you sneak into the archives and seek out the forbidden tomes. I saw a mad light in your eyes as you partook in their forbidden knowledge. Oh, for the love of... I did all of that for my investigation. Aha! You admit your crimes, that you secretly, without permission, in blatant contravention of our rules, read forbidden tomes. Then by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Valonic Inquisitory Doctrine... You stupid, ignorant... Are you all so desperate to keep your goddamn jobs that you'll go around accusing all the world and his wife of heresy? Is that what we've been reduced to? I'm sick and tired of looking for heretics in every bloody shadow, of trying to guess the secret sins of everyone I meet. It's stupid and pointless, and we're better than that. Damn it, we're better than that. Well, if you will not surrender yourself, then I have no choice but to inform my superiors. Well, that all came tumbling out, didn't it? I suppose there's no point in trying to convince myself that I have no personal investment in this matter, or that I still have a professional one. Somewhere along the way, I stopped looking for the guilty and started looking for the truth, perhaps, and a way to help those in need. There's no place for people like that in the Inquisition, is there? And it's only a matter of time before that stuttering fool comes back with an armed guard. Let us depart for Idleshire at once. We need to find the inspector. Alright. So, off to Idleshire. And I guess he's going to need a new job when this is all done. Oh yes, the house that Hildebrand now has. Oh, it's Nashu and Julian. What do they have to say? Nashu? I'm looking for the inspector. He went off on his lonesome. Julian? God damn it, Hildy. I raised you to have a better sense than this. Seer. It would seem we arrived too late. Inspector Hildebrand has already gone off on his own to confront the Grand Sirs. They came back briefly to trade jingly shine for supplies and whatnot. You see, and the Gobbies ear caught them trading tongue flaps about killing dragons in the Forelands. When the inspector heard about it later, he said he had to get after them right away and backtake Gigi. He said he had a duty, not as an inspector, but as a father. Look at that. He has no obligations to a bloody mammoth, especially one that chose to leave of his own free will, as I recall. I swear, I turn my back on the boy for one bleeding second and he loses his goddamn mind. I'm afraid he might try to do something reckless. Don't you think we should try and find him and offer hand lending? Now she's picking up the Gobby speak. I am rather more concerned about what will happen if the Grand Sirs attack, or worse, kill any of Race Vulgar's brood. But first things first, I suppose, Ayame... first things first, I suppose. Ayame, would you be so kind as to assist Mistress Nashu and Julian in their search for the inspector? I will pay a visit to Archmagus Quan's abandoned abode in the meantime. Oh, and before you think to refuse, know that you need not fear for my safety. Let's just say that our singular experiences together have inured me to the harsh realities of, well, reality. Huh. Could it be the scrawny little shites finally found his spine? Let's start by heading to Tailfeather. I reckon the inspector probably went there first to ask after the Grand Sirs. So if we do the same, we're sure to catch up with him eventually. Alright, So, off to Tailfeather. Alright. I don't really need a mount, but... Alright. Julian. Hildy practically grew up in the saddle. Gave him his first firm thighs and buttocks, it did. Okay, then. Right, then. I say we split up and make inquiries separately. If you learn anything about the Inspector or the Grand Sirs or Gigi, come and tell me. Alright, let's see what we can find out here. Louisinet. These guardians with the mammoth? They were here, proclaiming to all and sundry they were going to slay the greatest dragon of them all. The odds only know if the naive fools were serious. Alright. Firefey? Oh, those daft sods? They were for annex trying. Not quite sure what their intentions were, but they were awfully confident. That much I recall. And... Ramasian. 3 dragon slayers and a mammoth, eh? I'd call you a mummer if I hadn't seen them come through earlier, boasting about how they were ought to kill the biggest one yet. Nah, shoot. Alright, what's up? Oh, I see. So the Grand Sirs were headed for Annex Shrine. And my dear boy wasn't far behind them either. What are we waiting for? Let's go, let's go. Alright. Let's head for Annex Shrine. Why am I flying? There's an aetheryte right there. Alright. Well, there's, Orland. Nashu. Ooh, I found one of the Grand Sirs. And Julian? Did Hildy do this? Usually he ends up on the receiving end. The poor unfortunate soul bears a striking resemblance to Orland, is quite firmly embedded in the earth. How much you would have bet it actually is Hildebrand, who's still wearing Orland's armor? Look at that. The inspector sure gave him what for. That may be, but where'd the other two get to? Not to mention the mammoth. Why don't we pull him out and ask? Though, having said that, it looks easier said than done. Oh, not silly of me. I'm sure I got more than enough strength to yank him free. Oh, you've got more than enough strength, right, Ayame? Sure. Yep, it's Hildebrand. Still wearing the armor. Well, I'll be. He's wearing some sort of magic mask what makes him look just like the inspector. Just like that man of 1,000 faces back in Ulda. No, that's Hildebrand, alright. There's no fool in a mother's eyes. I say, what trouble has my beloved son gotten himself into this time? Ah, Godbert. And Sir. Oh, hello there, Lord Godbert and Inspector Sear. How'd you two end up traveling together? Blind fortune, you might say. I was too far from Tailfeather when night began to fall, but fortunately, Lord Godbert chanced to find me wandering in the wilderness. Lord Edmont told me all about the recent trouble with the Grand Sirs, as well as Hildy's investigation, and a father cannot help but take an interest in his son's affairs, can he? As for me, I was eager to share with you my latest findings, namely, Archmagus Quan's research notes. I haven't slept like that since I was buried in the Lich Yard. Well, I must confess to no small measure of embarrassment to be found in such a state, having been so unceremoniously disposed of by the Grand Sirs. But ignominy notwithstanding, I am most grateful for your succor and pleasantly surprised to be reunited with you all. This wouldn't have happened had you waited for us instead of... Wait, why in the hell are you still wearing that rubbish? An impenetrable disguise is essential when consorting with the criminal elements. Alas, it would seem the Grand Sirs have grown more perceptive in their newfound youth. Wait, do you mean they've already regained their youth? What about Gigi? Did you see him? Was he behaving strangely? Now that you mention it, his warm, soulful eyes are rather more pointy than I remember. By the Fury, not pointy. According to Archmagus Quan's notes, that's a sign Gigi's using too much magic. If he carries on like this, his ether will be expended and he'll end up not more than an empty husk. This is terrible news. Must catch up to the Grand Sirs at once. You know where they're headed? All I heard was they were keen to slay dragons. They were bound for the Churning Mists, a place called Zenith, to kill a great worm named Nidhogg. Nidhogg's already dead. Really? That all happened? Huh. I mean the other one, Hraesvelgr. Hraesvelgr? Fury, take me. What could they possibly hope to achieve? Nothing good. Seer? They're finally achieving peace after 1,000 years of wars. They want to kill Hraesvelgr? That doesn't make any sense. Nashu? At least you found the inspector, right? Julian? It looks well enough, but I wonder. And Godbert. Watching Hildy learn to grow as a father reminds me of my own trials and tribulations. Alright, Hildy. I, Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry Inspector Extraordinaire, do hereby ask you all to aid me in rescuing my son and putting a stop to the Grand Sir's machinations. You know, there's really no need for all that. We came because we wanted to help. I, Nashu, faithful assistant, maker of explosives extraordinaire, do hereby present to you this fresh change of clothing. Capital. I knew I could count on you, Nashu. I shall change en route. Go, my friends, to Zenith and to Gigi. Alright. To Zenith. Alright. Check in with everybody again. Godbert. I say, what brilliant craftsmanship. How do they manage? Julian. Spending too much time at this high altitude can't be good for my skin. Nashu. His disguise is maybe amazing, but nothing beats the classic inspector look. And Seer. Huh. They think that I stand in the heart of Dravanian territory. Me. How long ago was I scouring the streets for heretics? Yep. Hildebrand. Make ready, my friends. The final battle with the Grand Sirs is at hand. Ugh. But see, my wounds were more serious than I thought. I fear I am in no condition to confront our foes. There's one thing that could restore me to my former indomitable self. Don't you worry. I got some salamander oil right here. Shall Mummy give her baby boy a massage? Oh, my dearest Mummy, Mother dearest, I would not impose upon you, not when my ever-loyal associate, Ayame, stands ready to minister to my muscles. Oh no. Don't tell me you're embarrassed. Let Mummy take care of little Hilly's hurts. My dear wife, I know you mean well, but let Ayame handle it. Theirs is a bond which transcends time and space and personal boundaries. Oh, if that's the way of it, I'm counting on you, Ayame. Of course, they're going to have me do it. Alright, let us brook no further delay. Come, my friend. Coat my body in oil as you have done many a time before. Alright. Let's do it. Why do you hesitate? Have we not done this time and again? Oil me up, woman. Alright, then. Ooh, how it soothes my aches and pains. Quickly now, knead it into my flesh. Knead it, knead as you have never kneaded before. Here we go. Such furious kneading. I applaud your enthusiasm, but mayhap I urged you to excessive force. Nay, you are in the right. Already a gentle warmth begins to spread throughout my body. The fires of righteousness burn anew in my breast. Godbert, hold my son. Your passion is renewed, but you may yet be spurred to greater feats of Mandervillian strength. Derived from the purest essence of salamanders, the ancient legacy of House Manderville. Salamanderville to you. My beloved son, now become a proud father, I bequeath this most sacred of oils. Salamanderville. Could it be that the legends were true? Your muscles shall shine with the brilliance of 1,000 suns. No mortal man will have the power to do you harm. Verily, it is so, for by its grace did I once weather the slings and arrows of a bandit horde and bring my hammer of justice to bear upon their wicked heads. The time is coming, Ayame. Take this oil and help Hildy become the Manderville man he was meant to be. Alright then. The Salamanderville oil. Oh. The Salamanderville. How it flows into every nook and cranny. Quickly now, lay your hands upon me. Massage me with all your might. Very well. Yes, that's the spirit. I can feel it building and rising. Alright, again. Such passion, such fervor. I am the inferno unbound, the tempest unleashed, but I have not yet begun to pose. Massage Hildebrand once more with feeling. I am a Manderville man. That Salamanderville is my word. I've never felt so alive. Such vibrant colors, such intense sounds, such fragrant smells. Mother, father, Ayame, 'twas your oils and your strong yet tender fingers which opened my eyes to the glory of creation. I am a gentleman inspector reborn. Onward to Zenith. No matter the laws of nature they pervert or the limits they break, the Grand Sirs can do naught to stop me. You know, I could just blow them up for you. Epic march. Well, there they are. Grand sirs, I have come for my son. Oh, must we do this now? We have a dragon to slay. There's no need for any of this. The war is over. But not for long. The worm's death will give rise to a new era of fire and blood, and we, having consumed his eyes, will use our new powers to win untold glory on the battlefield. Our legends will echo into eternity. You would doom countless innocents for glory? No, I won't allow it. Over my dead body. Far be it for us to deny you, then. This is the end for you. The ultimate end. Doing Knights of the Round. Well, that didn't go so well, did it? Have faith, my love. He is our son. Oh, still breathing. Yee, my beautiful boy, pray do not look upon on me with such pointy eyes. Let Papa Hilly take you home to our gazebo. Stop calling me that. My name is Vivi. Vivi. I remember everything. My powers, my purpose, my grandpapa Quan. I made them young again, but it's not enough. I need more, more. I need the worm's eyes, and then I can finally bring him back. I'm sorry, Gigi, but no, you cannot. Grandpapa Quan is gone. He's right, Gigi. Mayhap you could restore his corporeal form and breathe life into it, but his soul, what made him your grandpapa, is forever beyond your reach. That's not true. I can restore anything to its ideal form, to the way it should be. Even Grandpapa Quan, even you, Papa Hildy. Beesgy, you have to stop. If you keep using your power, you'll die. It didn't work. I don't understand. Your clothes are still dirty and tattered. As they should be, Gigi, for my every waking moment is as the gods intended. Every day I live life to the fullest. Every day I enjoy grand adventures. I found your grandpapa's research note. What he gave you wasn't the power to make things the way they were. He gave you the power to change the world, to make things the way you yourself believe they should be. That is why your magics had no effect on the inspector, because you knew in your heart that this battered and bruised form of his is, in its own way, right. My thoughts exactly, Inquisitor Seer, and it is for this selfsame reason that you were unable to make Grandmaster Quan younger. In your heart, you knew there was naught that needed to be changed. Your beloved grandpapa was exactly as he should be. Your every day was to be treasured and worthy of celebration. Then what about the Grand Sirs? Why was he able to make them young again? All you truly knew of them were the stories they told, wondrous tales of daring do by heroes in the prime of their lives. It's no wonder you were able to envision them as such. That's all they ever talked about, when they were young and free and full of fire. At first, Archmagus Quan didn't understand the true nature of your abilities. He struggled to deduce why you could not make him younger as he originally intended. Eventually, he realized that your fond memories of him were preventing you from conceiving of him as anything but an elderly creator. That the only way to achieve his goal would be to take them from you. But you were all he had left in the world. No longer a mere mammoth, but a friend, family, his only family, his grandson. He couldn't bear to lose you, so he renounced his quest for immortality. But I still lost my memories in the end. He was afraid of leaving you all alone in the world, afraid that others would attempt to take advantage of you and your magic, so before he died, he decided to take your memories from you, after all, to protect you. But despite his best efforts, something remained, something stronger, more powerful, and more resilient than anything Archmagus Quan ever dared to dream. You were never broken, Gigi. You were never abandoned. All he wanted was to set you free. Free? Free to do what? Whatever you like, Gigi. Don't you see? That was his final gift to you. A new life, a new story, all your own. This has all been very, very touching, but we're not getting any younger. Well, you aren't, at any rate. You have suffered your meddling long enough. I'd intended to use this trap to kill the worm, but since you are so perfectly positioned... Explosives? Oh. Well then. That's not great. I am Bibi, grandson of Archmagus Quan and Gigi, son of Hildebrand, Heliodor Maximilian Manderville, and something. And I am free, I guess. So, okay, you restored them back to their original state. And was that it? And you're back to where you should be. Alright, so what's the status? It's like it never happened. With the last of his strength, he turned back the hands of time. Not just for the pillars, but for us all. He made us all as we once were, as we were meant to be. After all that gallivanting about, I get bugger all. What about my misspent youth? I was not meant to be this bloody hold. Such a fine day. Never have I squatted with such perfect form. I may well have reached my physical peak. What rot. Act your age, you daft sod. You look foolish. You should be grateful. Gigi saw what you had become and gave you a second chance. That was our second chance, to relive our gloried haze. It was all rather silly, though, wasn't it? Maybe Quan had the right of it. Maybe it's not so bad growing old. I was a coward when I was young. Now that I'm old, I'm not afraid to say things like, I love you, Doris. Ooh. You're a blind, bloody fool, Gonspart. Out cold. Oh. I say, am I dead again? Quite alive, Inspector, along with everyone else. Thanks, Gigi. The Grand Sirs are also in our custody. Aha! That's my boy. Where is little Tyke, anyway? Well, bad news on that front. Gigi embarked on a grand new adventure. He's no longer with us. I see. If that's what he wanted, then I could not be happier for him. I'm sure Archmagus Quan would feel the same way. What do we do now, Inspector? Is it not obvious, Nashu? The wide, wide world beckons to us. The promise of mystery and wonder. We shall resume our never-ending quest for cases perplexing and profound. And perhaps one day we shall meet young Gigi again. I hate to admit it, but this whole mess got me thinking that maybe it wouldn't be so bad if I really did have a grandson. You did right by Gigi, Hildy. Your father and I can see that. We're proud of the man you've become. And I am proud of you too, Mother, for finally coming to terms with the ephemeral nature of physical beauty and allowing yourself to age gracefully. Mistake. Yep. Gracefully, was it? I fear we may have had a failure to communicate. There he goes again. Wait for me, Inspector. Wait. Hark! What is that curious light I spy in the far eastern skies, and this oh-so-familiar scent which fills my nostrils? Do I smell a case? Were it not for me, my friends, for wherever the wronged one for succor, I, Hildebrand, shall be there, till we meet again. And he's off to Stormblood. I say, you do know that so long as the core remains intact, little Gigi is not actually dead. That's right. So dry your tears, boy. There's no need for all this moping about. He's fallen into a dormant state because he used up all his ether. His core will gradually recharge as it draws upon the ambient ether, and in time he will awaken from his torpor. I shall tend to the child for now. As for these three, I should be glad to take them back to Ishgard in your stead. A most generous offer, my lord, but hardly necessary. After all, 'tis my duty to bring them to justice. Oh, yes, it was my duty. And everything I said to that young inspector, I can't go back to Ishgard. They'll toss me in a jail and throw away the key if I don't kill me outright. So go to Idleshire and live in Hildy's gazebo. Someone ought to look after it while he's away, no? That doesn't sound all that bad, actually. Full glad am I to accept your offer. I suppose there's nothing for it but to wait until he comes back down. It was a most graceful strike, my love. You haven't lost your touch. Crush with a giant skillet. Alright, Seer. I suppose there's nothing for it but to leave the Grand Sirs to Lord Godbert, and for me to see to Inspector Hildebrand's gazebo. I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. If you find yourself in Idleshire, come and see me. There are a few arrangements that I need to make, but I can't imagine that it'll take long for me to settle in. Thank you, my friend. Until we meet again. Alright, let's go to Idleshire and finish this up. Looking back on the course I've run, it's hard not to think of the man I was and feel ashamed. Before I took on this case, I'd only left the capital a handful of times. The rubbish I believed, the facts I considered unassailable. Fury take me, what a fool I was. If I hadn't met you and the inspector and Gigi, I would never have realized how much I had come to hate my job. Nor would I have discovered how much more satisfying it is to seek out the truth, the whole truth. One might say that getting labeled a heretic and having to flee Ishgard is the best thing that could have ever happened to me. After all, now I am free to start a new life here in Idleshire as a consulting inspector. But enough of that. There is someone I'd like you to meet. Lord Godbert made some modifications. As you can see, his smaller size should allow him to absorb ether more effectively over time. We thought that if he were to travel with you and share in your grand adventures, that maybe it would hasten his reawakening. Thank you, my friend. I do hope our paths cross again someday. May the Fury bless you and keep you. Alright, so I have a new minion. Gigi, also known as Vivi, but his secret is safe with you. Cast of characters. Hildebrand of Manderville. Nashu, Seer. Godbert. I'm trying to read that. Julian. And now I'm kind of lost. Edmond de Forton. Get that one. Gigi. Goblins and more goblins. Hildebrand will return? Yes. Alright. That is what you are. Alright. So, with that, the Heavensward Hildebrand quests are now complete. And now we can move on to Stormblood. Which... oh, actually, before we do anything else, let's make sure we grab that. Should start in Kugane. And a Hingen Tale. Noshu Goes East is the starting quest, but we will probably save that for next episode. And we have the Conspicuously Inconspicuous Man. We'll find out what you're all about next episode. So for now, we'll stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.